first 3 seconds of this stream. And then
I
boom.
haven't said anything on this stream.
That's how the mouse...
I know that your grandma was killed.
What the fuck happened here?
The mouse does not own the...
It will in the future when we are a D&D
the mouse is
Emporium.
the mouse is gonna own the Italian worker?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, the mouse is gonna own everything.
Dang.
Mouse pretty much owns everything anyway.
Yeah, after the stream, remind me to show you guys. I have 2 maps, and one of them is America 2.0, which is pretty funny.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay.
They're assembling all of the endless rocks and putting them on the turbo glove. I don't know.
Yeah, they got rid of the 4 corners and just made Ohio 2, and then moved the capital to Ohio, which is a lot of fun.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. All right, we're live. Let's do it.
All right.
Do you want to take us on a recap, or do you want me to do my little preamble first?
You know what, your choice.
We'll do my preamble because there's nobody in chat yet. So.
All right.
This is Electric Dice Podcast, 5th edition, session 22, which is pretty wild. I think we're over a year in real life. Not sure. If we play every other week, we got a few more games to hit a year's worth of games, but we're right there. The episode is called The Budapest Gambit, because while we are in Dustow and while we're still sorting everything out, I'm going to keep stealing chess terms and strategies shamelessly.
That's fine.
And I actually found a very nice quote about the Budapest Gambit.
Ooh.
Nicholas Gifford summarizes, in the modern sense, the Budapest Gambit as, quote, "It is an old opening, seldom used by champions without having fallen in disgrace." So, if that doesn't summarize everything we're gonna get up to here tonight, I don't know what will.
All right, everyone, let's fall in disgrace here.
I think I did in the last session.
Yeah.
Only twice.
So Tristan, I will pass it along to you to do our famous recap.
Famous now. We do have 6 whole people in chat, so it seems like a good time. Last time on the Electric Dice podcast, after just arriving to Dustow, we did the smartest thing we possibly can and split the party. What I'll refer to as our A team, comprised of Nico Voss, played by Dan L.A., Kaylin Stanford, played by Squid, and Goose Crumplebottom, played by Riley, decided to, maybe try sneaking into the city where we're all wanted criminals and not being seen, and then going to Dan L.A.'s bar, which I'll get to shortly. Whereas the B team, also known as the Fighting Mongooses, comprised of myself, Drib, Puvu Ego, played by our other Dan, who is sadly absent today, and the Batman himself, Duncan Tinklepaw, reincarnated as a vampire, decided to waltz right through the front gates through the camps of mercenaries. We thought it was a good idea at the time. So, as we're doing that lovely little adventure, the A-team go to Dan's bar, and on the way meet this nice lady who just wants, a safe place for her family, and they're like, yeah, go to this bar. It's safe. Don't worry about it. The party then gets to the bar and realizes, oh shoot, it's not safe. Everything around it's burned down, and there's some kind of terrible monster in there that's going to kill everyone. After trying to fight the terrible monster that's going to kill everyone, and Dan L.A. going down only twice, they were like, maybe we should get out of here. Conveniently, the B team arrives after dealing with mercenaries trying to get a dog and a child to drink booze. The mercenaries' boss showing up and being real mad at them, and Puvu melting a man's face, killing him instantly over 6 seconds, and us running away. We're all like, hey, maybe we should run. And everyone is like, yeah, that's probably a good idea, with the exception of Goose Crumplebottom, who's like, maybe we shouldn't let this woman go into this thing where she's gonna get horribly killed with her children. And we're like, it's fine. He's like, nope, and Misty steps away. As a secondary line of defense, Dan drops a coin using his artificer skills that'll play a message on repeat saying, hey, this tavern's gonna kill you dead. And now we're now. What happens next, we'll just find out.
So if you were able to keep up with that, I'm just gonna say
a lot happened.
I'm just gonna say right now, session 25, we're gonna do a quick little preamble that I'm going to record as a separate thing, and it's going to be Tristan just recapping everything that's happened so far this game.
Oh gosh!
I'm also
the entire.
I'm also going to buy him a liquid beverage of his choice and give him $20.
I mean, that's not necessary, but thank you. I will still do it.
Yeah, you get to summarize everything. So.
Oh boy,
I'll
buy myself a liquid beverage of my choice.
Well, I'll buy you the drink. I'll keep my $20.
All right, sure. You'll have to figure out how to get it to me.
I know where you live. It's not a threat.
Okay.
But also could sometime be a threat.
It's a threat with a good time. Okay. Yeah, so I was actually trying to like consult my notes, and I broke one of my very famous rules. We're calling everything famous tonight. Where I didn't do a great job taking notes. So I remembered the fight, the flea, the arrival of Puvu on a dog, on a mastiff, which was Drib, and then yeah, I knew something had happened with the the old lady could arrive here. We don't want her to be here, right? And somebody fucked off to. But is that really right where we cut?
Yeah, we were, I think, riding away slash like running as fast as we could to get away. While I think Goose was still hadn't Misty stabbed back with the party yet, but I think we left it kind of at that moment of dropping the message.
Okay, cool.
Retreat.
I don't know if anyone else is catching an echo. I'm catching just a little bit. It might be gone now. Hello? Yeah, tiny little bit.
I'm catching a little bit. It shouldn't be me.
I'm not getting so much of an echo, but I feel like I can hear somebody else's audio coming through their mic. Like I hear Dave, specifically you, twice.
Oh shit, is it me? Wait, do you hear this?
Yeah, the echo's gone from Dave for me though.
Okay,
but
yeah,
you can hear that.
Mm-hmm.
How loud is it?
Moderate.
I hear it now.
Jesus. Because
I think it's good now.
This is my mic. You hear that?
Yeah, that's you like tapping. The microphone.
Well, I was tapping the webcam too, which has a mic option, but it shouldn't be enabled. Hold on.
Funky.
Wonder if I can. I guess there's no way to separate because I stacked them. I don't know.
It seems good now. It was very faint when I was hearing it. I was just trying to confirm if that's what you were catching.
That was what I was noticing too. Yeah, I assumed it was everyone could hear it, but I could definitely hear me. Somebody holler in chat if I'm echoey or if anyone's echoey, and whoever it is will be killed. So this might be a very short stream.
Yeah, it's all of us.
Okay. So I very late in the game asked all of you to kind of consider a little bit what your character goals were. I think that we made a lot of sense kind of moving everything back into Dust Out. It had been 20-ish sessions or close to it since we had been there. We had two characters who had some storylines that kind of coincided there. In the form of a fiance that may or may not be the living dead. And a sister who may or may not be captured by Zugzwang and the Consortium. So now that being said, right now y'all are more or less fleeing at speed away from a very difficult fight that you were soundly routed from. So I am curious, record scratch, this is me, you're probably wondering why I'm covered in blood and running away down this street. Does anyone want to take a moment and talk about it now? Is anyone like, I need to get out of the city, we're leaving, this is stupid? Or is everybody like, I'm gonna get fucking revenge?
I mean, I feel like Nico he's very disheartened for one. I mean, he's gone all this time, thought he found an answer, and then now he's basically blocked by this super powerful witch or sorceress or whatever she is. So he's like, how the hell am I going to get her out of there? But I don't think he's so much. I don't think he's like, no, this is just not worth it anymore. I think he's more resolved to find a way to take out. Well, he knows that the Grimm is somewhat connected to this, so I think is aware that there's some involvement with the Consortium, and is looking at that as maybe being the answer.
Okay, so you're not ready to give up, but you are very much like, okay, what the heck do we do next?
Yeah.
I mean, and I think the group can kind of aimlessly run for a moment. I don't think that's too much of an issue. The guards and like being captured is really more of a danger outside of the city, but close to it, and kind of passing either from district to district or like going out into the wilds. You know what I mean? Like passing through a checkpoint again. Like right now, you're kind of safe as long as you don't stop and cause this huge ruckus. But like you are going to have to find some kind of place to bed down at some point. So is there anyone else that's kind of scrambling or thinking or squabbling, or is everybody kind of following everybody else as they're all fleeing?
That sounds about right for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm probably trying to think of where we could safely be at the moment. I'm thinking either the bar we originally started in, or there was the warehouse where we got our wagon.
Yeah, and both of those, are they're not too terribly far away, right? Like, only 30 feet apparently.
Yeah.
Man, we must have passed them.
Yeah.
Might be too close.
I mean, if either of those are the preference, let's do that. Otherwise, I was just going to say roll a d8, and because the only place you're definitely not fleeing to is the castle.
Yeah.
I mean, we could if we wanted.
Yeah, let's not. So what sounds better, bar or warehouse?
Well, we were, I think, attacked the last time we were at the warehouse, so...
I thought it was when we were just outside the warehouse.
It
Like when
could
we
be,
left
yeah.
and we had our cool skeleton chase that'll be recapped in episode 25, apparently.
Yeah, but I mean, that, like, probably has very little bearing to what would happen now, so...
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's true. The DM didn't save the map or anything.
I'm just thinking those are two places we know is relatively safe.
Yeah. I mean,
Bar.
we had a connection at the bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or did that guy come with us?
No,
He
Roykeg
did
did not
not.
come with you. So yeah,
So
I think bar makes
Bar?
sense.
Yeah.
Bar?
I think that's where you find yourselves just kind of all instinctively running.
Mhm.
So I believe
Where
it's
we
Full
started
circle
this mission.
moment.
right. And perhaps happy day, perhaps fortune favors the ill prepared, right? But other than it's like the right way to describe it's very similar to your bar, Nico, in the fact that it has clearly been broken and raided and repaired a few times. But there are several people kind of lingering outside of it, and they are stereotypical adventurers, right? Tough guys and gals, lingering outside the bar, having a smoke. There would be some drink around them, but they're not like partying. They're not revelers, right? Like this is whoever's kind of on guard and whoever's kind of just arriving or just leaving. Like Roykeg, if he's still in charge, but it is still clearly a bar, and people are still frequenting it. Are kind of keeping the place like under control. And they'd have to give you a look, like there's a couple of you look weird, you're running our way, are we gonna have a problem, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so I think you guys arrived there, and let me scroll down and find a name, because somebody's kind of like, oh, what do you want?
Just looking for a place to get a drink and gather ourselves for a bit.
And everyone's just kind of standing behind Nico, like, because Nico looks like fucked up, like he's died twice today.
Yeah.
I mean, Drib's a dog.
Could really use
so
a drink.
I my diplomacy is not going to be good right now.
Okay. Yeah, and so this is a dwarf that's looking at you and talking to you right now.
Okay.
And I think as they sort of walk up closer to you, I don't know if you did have any preconceived notions or if you wanted to. It is a female dwarf, and she says, you got any coin?
I've got some. What's the going rate these days?
What do we have? 5?
5 what?
5 people, technically.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Including a dog and a child.
Right. Well, I guess 6 then. Or no, 5 and a dog.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it's...
This is, get inside the door, stay off these streets. 10 gold.
Oh, I don't think have anywhere close to that much money.
Oh, I have 10 gold on me. That's a lot, though. That's all I have for gold.
Yeah, no, we've got, like, no money in this adventure. Let's see.
I'll say, how about, what about for barter?
She's like, 10 gold ain't buying you drinks. 10 gold gets you through the door, make sure me and the boys here. And somebody's just like, right, and is chewing on a cigar. Don't have any problems. But I mean, I think you would take it as she's expecting gold, but I mean, you can still try, right? Like it's not like a root lock.
Yeah. I'm just looking to see if there's like, anything like, get us in for, or let us in for 5, and if there's anything we could do to help you after I heal up, rest up for a bit.
All right, go ahead and roll a persuasion. This is a difficult check currently. So before I announce anything, is there anyone who's weighing in on this at all, or I think Riley died.
Oh shoot, we lost Riley. Oh no!
So how bad
already.
The check was he just sort of faded.
Oh
like,
shoot,
nope.
he's not even on Discord. I think his computer crashed.
Yeah.
Drip just suddenly goes back to bird form and's like, "Yo, what's up? Let us in. You're totally not gonna attack a dog that just turned into a bird."
Right? Yeah. You just...
No, I do not do that. That was joke.
That was joke.
That was
Caitlin
joke.
kind of just stands back with her arms crossed, glowering with her like empty eye sockets with the sparkling electricity.
Yeah, looking totally normal and also safe. She says, she kind of saunters up to you, right? And Nico, are you standing firm, or is somebody kind of carrying you along and you're limping a little bit? Like, what's physicality? What do you look like right now?
I think I was kind of being helped along, like not maybe limping on my own.
Okay.
Like limping, but yeah, with my arms around somebody helping me out here. So maybe I was like putting my weight on the back of Drib there.
Yeah.
Behind Puvu, who's probably riding him still.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, and so even you kind of slumped over is still taller than her, but maybe not by a ton, right? And she's like, right? She looks up at it and is like, pretty sure I could, knock you down with a stiff breeze right now. You don't look that good. Come on, don't make this difficult. 10 gold, you're inside. I'll find you later. You want to help out? I'd love to help you out. You want to get hired? You need some money? Sounds like things are rough. I get it.
Yeah, Nico will look around the party and just nod, and
he's like, really? All of you assholes? Nobody? Any money? None. Nothing. Cool.
just tosses his whole pouch of gold at her. That's all of the money I have left.
Right, and for a moment, she's like, oh, shit, that worked, right? And she's like, oh, it was like 10 gold. You're poor. And she's like, what name would she give?
Yeah.
Oh, she says Gran, open up. And then, like, I've been doing this a lot lately, but the little slider, right? Ratchets open.
Riley says his internet died.
Oh my god, it's so loud.
Oh no, we lost O'Reilly.
I don't know. That's weird. Hopefully it bounces back. I don't know.
Hopefully.
What do you?
He's off saving that old lady. It's fine.
Yeah. Does your internet come back? He did teleport away, right?
Yeah. He Misty stepped away, and was like, "I gotta save the lady."
Right.
Yeah. And we're like, "That's that's maybe not the best idea or biggest concern right now. And he's like, gotta save her.
It's not a huge deal, but everyone who's there, go ahead and roll a perception real quick, because you kind of see this face move past the little hidey hole slot.
She's busy giving sparkle eyes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're so focused on looking that you don't see. The 17 and 18 are both enough. Gray skin, kind of a wobbly face, and in the sense that there's it's not only old age, but there's also like a lot of extra meat, right? Orc, maybe Goliath. You're not 100% sure. Something mountainous. But yeah, the slider kind of ratchets open, like I said, grunts once, closes it again. You hear two heavy locks, and then the door swings. I guess it would swing in.
That seems right.
Yeah. And you just entryway. Yeah. There it is.
Yeah.
I try to help walk in, like keeping pace with Dan to allow him to walk in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I assume everybody goes in that's there, and I guess we will have to solve what the hell happened to Goose in a moment. Most of our budget this episode would be spent, because last episode it was all spent on the spooky skulls and the wall of nonsense, right? This episode, it's just paying for extras to make this bar like actually very packed, surprisingly. More people than you would have expected, given like the very, very barren and empty streets. But it probably reminds all of you that you're not entirely like clear 100% on what the hell is and has happened to the city. It was kind of on lockdown when you left it. You broke that lockdown and you broke out of one of the city gates. You know, the battle, so to speak, to put the sun back in the sky has gone on longer than anyone can remember, at least. Maybe not ever, period, but certainly a long time. And you're also aware that Dustow has a king, which it never had a king before. And that someone, and I think, we can say like Puvu's given a little information, right? You heard the name, or you heard Tasha introduce herself as an enforcer of the consortium, right? So that seems to be who's paying the mercenaries to stay around and keep the city safe. But yeah, we would get a very stereotypical, like, busy bar scene, but filled kind of like, cranked to 11 with people who look dangerous, people who look like adventurers, and people who look like hardened survivors, really throwing caution to the wind. Lots of drinks, lots of cheering and everything, and a lot less of like standard pub fare. Life is hard, work is hard, I just kind of want to relax in the evening. This is like, we could die tonight, we could die tomorrow kind of partying.
Huh. Can I try and find like a side hallway or room or something that doesn't have at least as many people in it, so I don't just suddenly turn into Birdman in the middle of everything?
Yeah, I think that, that from being here before, with
I go to the bathroom or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Roy, he sprung for the indoor plumbing.
And some drunk is just there in the hallway, sees a dog go in, magical sounds, bird walks out. Right.
And I mean, he would be drunk, right? His friend would have come out of the other bathroom. He's like, "You're not gonna believe what I just saw. Talking dog."
Yep.
So do you guys seat at the bar, seat at a table, join a table, or are you milling about awkwardly when Drib returns?
Take a probably sit at the table so we can sit around each other. Like, I don't know, talking to a group of 5 people is hard when you're like shouting down the line. Nico's not much for shouting right now.
Yeah, no, it's true. All right, so Drib, you return. Nobody has drinks yet because no one's come over to you to get drinks or ask for what you want. So there's just like a barren table.
I'm gonna like kind of give Nico a pat on the back and cast Cure Wounds on him.
Hey.
He needs some of those curing wounds, and it is just not wanting to work. It's a D8 plus, I believe. Yeah.
Do I roll that, or do you?
I can roll it for you. Oh, whoops! There we go. Sorry, my macros were being obnoxious. You get 6 HP. It's better than
nothing.
Because you were, I think, yeah, you were at very little.
Yep. Why, thank you.
No problem.
Nico says, that's definitely better. Well, I got us in here. Somebody else has got the drinks.
Don't you
and
just
food,
have drinks?
or whatever. Usually it's frowned upon to pop open your own drinks at a bar. You have to pay for them.
Who doesn't bring their their flask into a bar?
If Roykeg's still here, we respect him.
Yeah, and I think that's a pretty interesting... you don't know everyone who's here, right? Like, you look around quickly trying to figure out who's around, who's left, who do you recognize. I think if somebody wants to take, like, a spend right now and be like, yeah, I want to know somebody, like, you can pick somebody to know. But you do not see... Not only do you not see Roykeg, but you see no evidence of Roykeg, right? Roykeg, to me, is a very... like, I know we've talked about the place before. Had anyone been to McSorley's in New York City? No? Riley, you're my only hope.
Riley is still reconnecting and muted in.
Oh, I think you can hear us.
Probably. He's muted in...
Oh, I muted myself. Gosh dang.
Oh, have you been talking?
Not much, no. I was just like, I'm back.
Oh.
What happened?
We can see you, though, at least.
Yeah.
Which is a surprise.
But no, I don't think I've been there.
Okay. It's just super cramped, super dusty, to be completely honest. And they were like... I remember being really struck by how many things were cluttered everywhere on, like, small surfaces that looked like they had not been touched in actual, like, decades. It was like... Because, like, you know, you go to a place and you're like, oh, I wonder what the story is with that thing. You know what I mean? And I think most bars have that. They kind of, like, that kitschy sort of clutter. But this was, like, honestly, like, just somebody set that down 40 years ago and no one bothered to move it. It was less like, oh, they have, like, a collection, and more like, I don't know, this place has been cleaned. And to me, because, like, some of you may recognize Roykeg's name from other games. Like, Roykeg is near and dear to my heart. He's a rotund, grumbly man, balding with stringy hair, not usually an apron, but still stained somehow. And you know, he's good, but he doesn't keep the cleanest shop. And this is not like that at all. Not only by the clientele, but also just like the place looks different. It has a different feel. There's definitely more of a focus. People are like I said, you know, gambling. They're being loud and raucous, whereas Roykeg was kind of like a, you know, pull up a stool and tell me your troubles kind of thing, right?
No Roykeg.
Yeah.
On.
I'm gonna step away for 1 second. I apologize. I heard some ruckus with the cats. So if you want to take this second to either talk a little about your situation, or if somebody wants to be like, I actually see somebody I know, and describe them, and I'll be right back.
How'd I get in here, guys?
I'm assuming that you Misty stepped, like, you probably warned the woman, and Misty stepped back in. Like, it's fine. Dave's not here. We figured it out.
Can you Can you Misty Step to a place that's through a wall as long as you can see it? Like if you can see through the window, can you do that?
You have to see where you Misty Step.
Yeah,
Okay.
but like if there's a window,
So
this place
wait,
probably has windows.
where are we? We're in this.
We are in Roy Keg's bar, the one we started the adventure in.
And why did I have to Misty Step in there?
They were
Because we
charging.
didn't know if you came with us before.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you could have arrived while we were running. That would probably have made some sense. Like, because it was some distance to get there. Like,
Yeah.
Like, we went in this lovely route from the purple thing to the green one. I don't know if my arrow's actually showing up or not. Oh, it is. Cool. So, like, there was some distance there. If
Yeah, I mean, if you did come with us right away, then you're good. You just walked in when I paid the 10 gold.
Yeah.
Tried to persuade the dwarf not to charge us as much, but nope, not very persuasive.
Yeah. It's the grievous injuries taking away your natural charm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have that old goose charm.
The old goose charm, as they say.
Yeah, so I don't know if he's like. Would we know if we recognize anybody, or is he just?
I think it's like if someone wants to be like, "Oh, that's so and so," so that guy, just to add in a little more custom.
Gotcha.
Element to it. Droid probably wouldn't. For the rest of you, I don't know. Maybe there was some guy you know. You all seem to know people.
Yeah, I think that Nico would probably recognize one of the more like hardened warrior types, as like one of the old fighters from the local arena, who's just kind of survived in the city. And I'm gonna come up with some stuff right here real quick.
Who gonna generate an NPC?
Yeah.
Nice.
Did anyone else know anybody? Or is it just you?
This is as far as we got so far.
No, that's fine. I walked away.
Yeah.
I just figured if there's anybody else, I want to make sure I take the notes down.
Yeah.
It does not.
Yeah, so I think Nico recognizes a half-orc named Fuzz.
Thuz or Fuzz?
Fuzz. T-H-U-Z.
Fuzz.
He's just, yeah, I don't know if you had come back when I was starting to explain it, but he's just an old veteran of the arena.
Okay.
Basically, so he's hardened enough that he's survived through a lot of what's been happening.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. And that works really well. So the doorman, so to speak, I'm doing that a lot, is Gran Galosh, who, I think that, do you wave hey, or, does Thuz come over to have a little chat?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Thuz probably would, if he spotted Nico, he'd come over and want to talk because, I've been missing for a long time. I used to help him out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think, Thuz just kind of points over to Gran. It's like, it's my aunt.
Oh, it's a family business. Ooh.
Is your aunt in charge here now?
Nah, but, they make the joke. She came with the building.
Yeah, well, I guess some things never change, but it seems like a lot has. Any news on what's happened to Roy Keg here?
Yeah, and he was kind of giving you a befuzzled face, which is not weird to begin with. But he's like, "What do you mean?"
Oh, I noticed that Roy Keg's not around. This place looks a lot different than it used to.
I don't know, Roy Keg.
Oh. Oh, shoot.
Did you only ever come to my bar? I thought you got around a little bit before.
Yeah, we went around, but I know Greyhawk work here.
Well, say he didn't. What else have been changing in the city here?
There's a lot different. Yeah. Squid, I don't know if we've talked about this before. Do you have consortium markings, flash, branding? You know, like, you look rogue-like. You know, I imagine you do, right? Because it's a shtick, you know. And the reason that, you know, rogues and thieves kind of look alike is because it works well for the job, you know.
Maybe she's got like a almost hidden patch on one of her shoulders where like most people wouldn't notice it, but if you know what you're looking for, it's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's a situation, right? Because he's like gonna go say something, and he turns and he looks, and nobody needs to like roll the insight that he looks, and he kind of, you know, he doesn't like gulp hard or anything, but he's very cautious with his next couple words as he's like, consortium. They put and then he does it because he's like, can I talk about, you know? He's basically like guild business, right? That's his question. Can I talk about it?
She gives him a nod. Starts listening a lot more closely to the conversation.
Right, yeah. And that's like, you're like, yeah, of course you can. Yes, what do you mean? Please tell me. And
bring us a drink and we can talk about whatever.
Right, yeah. And he's like, they put Fulcrum in charge. Or Fulcrum put himself in charge, I don't know. But, the consortium's doing everything now. They're taking the money. Like, I don't know that they want the sun to come back.
Oh.
No, the Fulcrum. What? Who is this guy? Like, is he from the consortium? Do you recognize him? What kind of guy is he?
Yeah, and I'm gonna stop doing that voice. I apologize.
No, it's fine. Thank you.
Yeah. So, does anyone have history?
Stupid history.
Nope.
Not at all.
Y'all are terrible at this. Squid, go ahead and roll. Just make an intelligence check. Nice. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah. So you know Fulcrum. You also know their actual name is Samuel or Samuel. Fulcrum, you've probably seen once or twice. They are an elf, and they have like I wish somebody had history. This would be so much easier. I mean, it's pretty well known though. Fulcrum would tell you that they got the guild, the consortium, kind of back under direction after Mark the Hands messed it up. Is like the story basically. So Fulcrum would have been somebody who, you know, was kind of coming up during that time and then saw some things that weren't working very well and decided to change that.
Okay.
But I don't know that there's a whole lot of details beyond that. Like, you know they exist, you kind of know a little bit about them, you know that they've got history through the guild, but obviously things have changed since then.
I don't know. Did you have anything to say in response to that, or? I just didn't want to step on your toes if you did.
No, she's just trying to consider the implications of that now and how much more difficult it's probably going to be to get her sister back.
Yeah. So Nico will kind of lean forward, like put his elbows on his knees and say, talking to Thuz, like, back in the arena, you must have met the Grim at some point, right? You remember her?
And remind me, the Grim was a manager, right?
No, the Grim was the one that was kind of one who initially got Nico into the line of misdeeds that he ended up in.
Right.
Like the first.
The Grim wasn't a fighter, but she had fighters.
Oh, that's what you mean. Sorry. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. I think that he kind of, nods in the affirmative. He's like, yeah, she, kind of... Well, you were friends, weren't you?
A little bit. You could call it that. You seen her around in any of this business?
Oh. She got big, too. Man, how long you been gone?
Well, it's been a couple months at least. Or has it? A couple months? A couple weeks?
Yeah,
I think it's been like 2 months, right?
Yeah, I think that's probably reasonable. I guess that kind of creates its own question of, you were not aware that Grim had kind of gotten roped up, right? We talked about that you didn't know that the Grim was kind of entangled with the consortium stuff.
I guess I don't. I wouldn't know how in depth. I know that she probably had some like dealings with the consortium, but not any amount of like rise within them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I guess like Thuz is not particularly like he what he knows from the street is because he's around and he's on it, right? So it seems like you would have had a lot of people kind of coming and going. So I think there's an interesting question there of like how does he know, and is it only he knows recently, right? So maybe that's it, is that he didn't know either, but now that you're bringing the two connection points together, he's like, oh yeah, you did know them, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think he does answer like that. He's like, oh yeah, I do. You used to be friends. She's really something now, and I don't know that there's a lot more context beyond that either.
Right. She's just a bigger name now, right. Is kind of what I get the sense of.
Right.
Which a big name under this rule must mean that she's got some kind of involvement there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Nico would press a little bit further, just asking, like, she's got a big name for herself now. Know where people can find her?
He, I guess. Well, the consortium moves around, but Fulcrum's gonna be at the castle.
Alright, well, thought I'd buy you a drink, but cost me everything I had to get in here. But good to see you're still alive.
It's like, I got you, buddy. And he just, right, kind of stomps over.
Yeah.
He'll bring you back one orc-sized drink, so you can either really enjoy it for yourself, or you can parse it out to, two, maybe three people.
I think Nico would kind of aggressively start drinking it, but then like peer over the top or like side eye somebody in the party and be like, "Oh, yeah, here you go, guys."
Yeah, I guess, right?
I'm fine. He doesn't have to share. I'm fine.
I'll take a long drop from it.
Both Drib and if he was here, Puvu both have already had more than enough to drink tonight.
That's true. Okay. Welcome's at the castle. Consortium goes around. So yeah, I guess what are we doing from here?
I mean, I wouldn't mind. Like, does there appear to be, like a person at the bar? Like, so is this just a bar? Or is it like a bar inn kind of combination thing?
I don't think there's a place to stay here other than maybe like a worker or two. I think that there's probably just a larger eating and seating arrangement upstairs and maybe like a few games.
Gotcha. Like, I'd kind of turned to the part of me like, we should find a place to stay for the night.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Like, with everything that's happened.
But you were kind of looking around to see like who's in charge and everything?
Yeah, no. Like, I was gonna look and ask and see if there were rooms here, like who I would talk to get a room, but if there's not, there's not.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give you a little brief description.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, there's a lot of people, and some of them kind of just fade to the background, right? Like, if you watch, like, you know, what the main character's doing and you look away, you see in the background it's just the same three people kind of looking each direction, drinking once or twice, sitting down, getting up. Creates the illusion of a lot of activity, but really, you get it.
Generic NPCs.
Yeah, no, exactly. You see, you know, kind of across the bar at a table, several halflings all gathered together, and they've got some sort of like little wind-up toy that they're like playing with and kind of not like launching back and forth at each other, but it's like very jerky with its movements as it sort of like, you know, chicken walks from one side to the other, and they're just like not like childhood laughing and like, oh, this is so much fun, right? But they're just amused with it and probably very drunk at this point, and it looks funny. Just past them, kind of peering out of the glass, is a dwarf that's in robes of both Moradin, but also one of the sun gods. It's like Moradin as like a dwarven champion, Moradin as like the bringer of like life and light, unless like Moradin deep in a mine digging. You know what I mean? Like. So there's like, oh, okay, you know, like that's, I don't think anyone was too worried about this bar being like, ooh, that kind of way. But that's like, oh, like that's very clearly like a cleric of light, just kind of standing here, glued to the window, looking out at something, like hands pressed up against the glass, kind of just peering out.
Can I join them, just walk up to them and like peer out the window with them?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see Drip kind of cross that way. And as the camera kind of like follows him, we see two more people. One kind of wild, eccentric, ostentatious, and overdressed rogue or bard, rakish type character in all red dyed leather with a big old, you know, like Robin Hood hat with a feather on it.
Oh boy.
Boots kicked up onto the table, laughing, kind of like tossing a dagger back and forth. You know, just up in the hand, catch it, drop it a little higher, catch it a little lower, you know, catch it backwards. And then at the same table, but completely ignoring everything that's happening, a pale human with spiderweb tattoos on like the widow's peak, right, on their face, just kind of like trying to look at a book and getting interrupted by whatever character's doing nonsense. But yeah, you said you want to get over there and peek out the window as well?
Yeah, no, just go out, look outside alongside this cleric of light.
They are just kind of staring, looking at the dwarf that you guys bartered or paid for passage through, right? Just kind of incessantly staring and just looking.
Do they notice me just like standing next to them, looking out the window?
If they do, they don't seem to care.
I guess I'm just like, what you doing?
Right, and there's that's my friend out there.
Cool. She seems nice.
Yes.
What? Why are you staring?
All right, and he turns and looks at you. He's like, hey, do I know you?
Nope.
Did I heal you?
Nope.
Oh. Well, then why are you being so familiar?
Oh. You're a cleric, or probably. I'm guessing you're not gonna stab me.
Not unless you pay me to, I guess.
No, thank you.
Henri, yeah, she's pretty cute.
Oh, you should ask her out.
He's like, oh god, no, I don't want to die.
Oh, here. And I just put a hand on his shoulder and I'm like, I'll be your wingman.
Ha.
Oh my god.
That's it. Thank you for coming to session 22 of the Electric Dice podcast. Yeah, he's like, I'm only 47, and she's like 208 or 209. I forget. She remembers when I was a little dwarf grub.
Oh. I mean, I'm like 32, probably.
Oh, you've aged horribly.
Thank you. You too.
He's like, I know.
Maybe she likes younger men.
She doesn't seem to like any men. Or anyone, actually.
Maybe...
She likes
Have
gold.
you ever talked to her? She does like gold.
Yeah, we're friends. We traveled together. She took a job, and I kind of followed, and here we are.
Have you ever expressed interest?
It's like I mean, I look at her a lot
With
until she
your
yells at me.
word?
Then that gets weird.
Yeah.
But I don't think she catches anymore. I think I'm very sneaky. And we just, like smash cut, like your party's staring at him. You know what I mean? There's like the steam lines around the window that his face is pressed up against, and the whole group's just like, fucking weird.
Want me to talk to her for you?
Oh no! I don't know. No, I don't want her to know. That'll make it weird.
Well, I think the staring is weird.
Okay, well, I didn't ask you. You're here, and now you're staring at her. Maybe you like her. That's what. Maybe I'll tell her that you like her, and then we'll see how that goes. And then I'll pretend that I'm you and you're her. And no, that's not the one. But maybe I'll find out if she's like interested in that sort of thing. That might work. That's probably what we should do.
I guess. I've heard worse plans.
Okay, we cut away from this scene. We got it. I can't do it anymore. What's the rest of the group doing?
Thought we were playing a dating sim now.
Yeah, I know. I'm really fucking going into uncharted territory here. This is what happens.
That can all happen off screen.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think the next scene we see the two of you like arguing and then yelling and then like getting into a fist fight in the dust cloud, and then you come out of it and you're both injured. But then you shake hands, you make a pact, you go outside, and then we see another dust fight, but it's her beating the shit out of the two of you. Like that's all happening.
Yeah, I know. It's the B plot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like.
I guess Nico is, his pockets are feeling light. He's thinking about the consortium, so it seems like getting around in the city is going to be a bit expensive now, and we're a little out of cash. We might need to find some work or very convincing a way to get places.
Mm-hmm. And you mean in town or out of town?
Even just within town, it's like finding a safe place is expensive.
Yeah.
Information probably going to be expensive.
Mm-hmm. Do you have reserves at your bar? Extra money or anything?
Mm-hmm.
Probably had some stashed away, but I don't know if Nico's too keen on going back there at the moment.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess one angle is like, help me take it back and I'll pay you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of gambling or carousing that could be done here. Does anyone have any money? I know the group is pretty light on cash.
So if this is correct, I have 40 gold.
Oh, hot damn.
It might be. I mean, we didn't build these characters at first level, did we?
Third, I think.
Oh, they were third.
Third
and we did
right.
have some adventures, and Drib really hasn't touched his money.
Yeah, 40 sounds plenty.
Yeah, I mean, that's not actually a bad idea. Maybe we could try to recruit some help to take the bar back from in here. There's that
and then
rogue
loot all their corpses.
Yeah, exactly. There's the rogue and the human guy there, like the one reading. We could try to hire some muscle.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming I'm in this building as well.
Yeah, it was a little unclear because you had Misty stepped away.
Mm-hmm.
And then
guessed he rejoined since it was like a noticeable distance between. There would have been time.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want to be there, I think that's okay.
Okay. I mean, as long as I felt that coin was sufficient enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's really a question for you, but it's something, which is nice.
Yeah.
Well, was it obvious?
I mean, it was very obvious, which means somebody else could just take it.
I think Nico probably would have had some stashed away in the basement near where his betrothed was. Because probably no one was going to mess with it there.
Yeah, but like the coin with the message of, hey, don't go to the bar or whatever.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, like, is that just a coin that sits on the ground and if you pick it up it tells you?
I
no,
think
it just constantly projects a message.
Oh.
I believe, anyway.
I mean, why would anyone want to take that? That'd be weird.
I mean, if it's an actual coin, it's money.
Is it real money?
I
that
mean,
just constantly yells until you get rid of it?
I mean,
I might be mixing up like a new and old wording here. The one that I have here says when it's tapped by a creature, it emits a recorded message.
Oh no.
Yeah, I would have waited then if it wasn't like blatantly obvious.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that... No, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I think then if Goose has stayed back, which it sounds like he has, we're going to see the group kind of like, we don't know what to do, and boy, I hope he's okay, right? And we'll pan over to that to see what's happening.
Alright, well... last thing Goose did was go up on the rooftops and kind of keep a lookout for the woman and her kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so go ahead and roll me a stealth and then a perception.
Right, stealth.
Mm-hmm. We know that guy. Oh my goodness.
Ooh, a guy we know. Oh, hello.
144 pounds of perfection. Okay. Stealth and also perception, very solid. So, how has Goose hidden himself away from the world to keep watch?
I mean, I assume he's going up on a roof, and he Misty stepped up there, and he's kind of small in stature, so you can kind of like hang back behind a lip or whatever. in like the shadows. Pretty much become liquid.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so you've kind of hidden yourself away just for your small stature, and you know you're not moving much. Your perception, you see the creature that was, you know, attacking you guys and hanging out in the building linger there for a little while. It paces the periphery of the building a few times. You see it kind of walk out into the street and then kind of go back in, and then walk back out into the street, wander back and forth, and go back in. And it does this. I mean, like, how long are you waiting until the lady shows up?
I mean, yeah, within reason.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to be there for like days, but
Sure. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think it's been a half an hour, and you've seen this thing, like, it's just, like, pacing. It looks like a trapped animal, for lack of a better term. It's just wandering around with no real purpose. Never quite getting super far away from the bar.
so it looks like it can't really, or is it like trying to get farther away, or is it just stopping at a very specific point and just turning back?
Yeah, it's not entirely clear. It's not the exact same point every time, but you don't know why it would wander down the street only to stop and return, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think you see, like, pain. You just see it goes, it swings back, it goes, it swings back.
That's so weird.
Mm-hmm. And now go ahead and do one more perception for me, and I'm going to roll as well, because it's sniffing the air.
Sniff, sniff.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Where the heck did perception go? There it is. Huh.
Yeah. Is this a goose nods off, or is this a goose, you know, off in La La Land dreaming of Paylor and muscly abs?
Yeah. Gosh, well, let's see how I'm. I think Goose is not an awful, but you know, from getting smacked around pretty bad in the last fight.
I'm not sure what that means.
What do you mean?
You did not notice them in time. I did. I get to do a thing. So what are you distracted with?
Yeah, he's kind of like nodding off because he's tired from like the last fight that he had.
Gotcha. I heard you saying. Somehow I took that as like I'm not doing well because of the last fight we had. Sorry, I heard like damage wise.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think that you can stir right when because it was an old lady, right? She was just begging for help. Mm-hmm. She's at the bar, and she's got 2 kids underneath her and her arms, and we shouldn't be able to hear it, but it's movie magic, right? And she's like, please no, they told me it was safe. And she's not like yelling, but she's begging basically.
So am I noticing it now?
Oh yeah. The issue is just she's very, very close. She's like basically at the same spot you were.
Okay, alright, well, let's see here. I don't know how close I'm at the bar, but I assume I'm somewhat close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you would have gotten to choose where you were, and it had no bearing on anything, so I'd say you're as close or as far as you would like.
Alright, cool. So I'm a misty step down towards her.
Mm-hmm.
And tell her to get the heck out of here.
Yeah.
You need to get the heck out of here. It's not safe.
Right. I mean, that's not terrifying or anything, right?
Goose is gonna kind of put himself down and either like keep an eye on the thing that he was watching, kind of memorizing its patterns, and then get in between him and the woman and the kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead and roll me initiative, please.
Okay. Where are you?
Name.
And CO2. Wow. Okay, cool.
Wow. Oh, there's no winning here. So Goose, what are you making for your new character, bud?
Oh boy.
Okay. Not Goose, crumple bottom.
Yeah, so you teleport down, brave Goose. I'm gonna go ahead and give you inspiration if you don't already have it.
I already got one.
Yeah. And this thing lashes out at you, shrieking, screaming. Its hands are knives, its mouth just sort of unhinges and drops open 2 or 3 times larger than it should be possible. Like teeth just ripping out of the bone, just like a jaw has been sculpted and shaped down from just points and face. And it jumps. I think it's going to attack both of you. I don't know that it cares or really understands any one of you being a bigger threat than any other. Okay, so first attack on Goose. Did you move beside her or in front of her?
In front of her. I was trying to be in between her and the creature.
Okay, I guess I will start with just you then. Okay, so first one's a miss. Do you do anything? Do you have a reaction or a whatever?
I mean, I do have a reaction. Should I? How does shield pop?
I think it's when you're attacked, you can spend a reaction and get +5 to your AC.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that?
I mean, does it have to be this attack, or can it be like if I get hit again?
Yeah, you can wait and see.
Because I mean, if it missed, I'm not gonna use it.
Okay, is it 19 hit? Would the shield block it?
No, I only go up to 17, I think, with shield.
Okay. Alright, so 2 hits. And I think, Danla, you got hit by this too last time, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I got hit by something. I got hit by the tendrils, I think.
These are 2 attacks. You don't need them split or anything, do you, Riley?
No.
Okay, so the physical side of it is... so 17 physical, because it's got bonuses, and this is all psychic. 19 more psychic, and this is the same thing that happened to Nico, where it forces like horrid memories out of you, right? Like it just draws them to the surface. It consumes them. It needs them.
All right.
So if you have a horrid memory for Goose.
Does Goose even get a memory? He is down.
Yeah, well, because it's 1 and then 2, right?
He's down in 1.
Oh. Well, I guess it's your last final thought, which is pretty unfortunate.
Oh, Goose.
Wow. We can go the route of what happens when you die, which is probably the biggest memory replays in your mind over and over again until your life is snuffed out.
Yeah, they call it life, right?
Yeah.
So what is it? What are the thoughts? I mean, this is brave. It's very brave.
I think it would go back to his childhood. He's like playing in the yard, and you know his parents were happier and stuff. And it was about lunchtime, and his mother, you know, told him to come in. There was like a delicious spread of wondrous, delicious foods. His favorite was just like a honey bread loaf that his mother made for him. And it was back at a time when his parents were actually, you know, like proud of him and excited for all of the things that he could be.
Yeah.
You know, and he jumps into his mother's arms and she says, "Goose, I love you. And that memory plays like over and over again and gets slower every time.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it tries to dredge up something awful, and you're just like, no, I'm a good boy. I remember the good things. And just sort of pass.
It's a good memory.
Yeah. I guess. So go ahead and roll a death slash. And then we'll see if the lady can get out of here. Because, I mean, she runs screaming.
She better. I'm going to be mad.
You putting it off?
Can you use inspiration in the death saving throw?
Yeah.
I could. But I don't need it because I rolled one above.
So she's just gonna... Okay. Yeah, so this thing is a little bit faster than she is. It's not necessarily much more athletic, though. So it's gonna have disadvantage on this check. It's got a +3, but it needs to meet or exceed her 14, or it's gonna run to the edge like it was doing, and then be like, "Oh, but I like it here." Okay,
God
so
damn it.
no, so it only gets an 11.
Okay.
Because it has disadvantage. Yeah, so it starts to chase the lady. You know, she puts. I don't know that she can even run a full 30, to be honest, but she double moves, right? Dragging the kids, who are, like, fucking petrified. Like, this is therapy for years. And,
But they're alive.
But they're alive, right, yeah, exactly. And she runs, screaming, and it... Right, because, I mean, it moves... She, like, nominally moves 25 feet per round. It moves 40, but, like, it's just enough. She gets just far enough that it stops and turns and, like, looks at the bar, like, longingly. And then, you know, its eyes drift down to Goose, who's there and bleeding, and just sort of wanders back, standing over the top of Goose, just looking at him. So anyway, back at the bar.
Oh, wow.
Drib, what crazy scheme have you cooked up that, I think his name was Human Clay.
Yep, get out there.
Human Cray, sorry. Human Cray Mountain River.
Oh boy. So Drib's probably on the like, well, we need to see what she thinks first. And is gonna try and like this is going full like rom-com like nonsense. Probably something to try and like more get information from the start. Maybe if that goes well, have like some like stage a duel for her honor or something, and in showing Drib up in combat, he'll look brave and she'll be like, oh, you know what, maybe you're not like some weird like priest dude, even though you are staring at me. It's like try and like, or if nothing else, it's stupid enough that she's like, wow, all right, you that's nonsense. Why'd you do that? That's stupid. And at least it's like gets a laugh out of it.
Okay, so you think he should challenge you to a duel over her honor because you're like gonna insult her first, or be like, oh baby, and he's like, no. I think
like the like worst flirting like possible. Like Drib doesn't know how to flirt. Anything he's heard is probably been in like the 2-3 times he's been in a bar in his entire life.
The second one being today.
Yeah. Like, he's probably just trying to recall any time in the past 12 minutes that someone's been trying to hit on someone drunkenly.
I really like the idea that, like, the Swamp Witch told you once about, you know, a man she liked or something, and she's like, yeah, then I was mean to him. I made him eat bugs and I hit him. That's what you do when you like somebody, you're mean.
And he's like, oh yeah. It's like, I steal her like 50-year-old pickup line. Like, wow, you really are darn tootin', aren't ya? Just like some like super dated But this lady's like 200, so like
right. It's actually pretty progressive.
Yeah.
Oh
so
man.
so I try to lay on the moves obnoxiously as possible, and then have him be like, "Hey, you can't do that," and then we fight, and he wins, and I'm like, you're right. I should respect women like you do, or something. I don't know.
God, this is
stupid.
Yeah, this is a terrible plan. This is like actually awful.
I mean, that's the point.
Yeah, no, it's true.
No good plan is coming. Like they might have one brain cell between them.
Yeah, I don't even think I want the answer to this yet. I just really wanted that recap where you're like, okay, and he's somehow off screen. You've like got him on your side, and you're like repeating the plan. He's like, okay, yeah, nope, that makes sense. Yeah, that's really smart. Yeah, and then I'll be super cool, and I'll stand up for her, and she'll be like, oh man, Human Cray, I really like you, buddy.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, let's go outside. Let's do it.
Yeah. I give him my spare staff if he doesn't already have a weapon.
Yeah, I think he'd have like a fucking Fisher-Price hammer, too. It would be like the tiniest little, like, ceremonial. It's very nice. It's very well made, but it's like, it's actually like this big. You just like... Ding.
Oh, boy. Or should, like, I just go to be like, hey, Kaylin, can we borrow a dagger? Just like some nonsense and getting him a weapon that he can actually use. Yeah, no, I'll give him my spare staff, and I'll just it'll be like a cool fight since we both have staves and neither of us are that skilled in hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, it'll look very deadly. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, what's the rest of the group been up to? I mean, as Alderaan exploded and all of you felt Goose pass on to the next realm.
He's not dead yet.
Yep, he's not dead yet. Well, we know we want to try to hire some help, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was the plan. That was what you're talking about, at least.
I mean, what do you guys... That's what I came up with. What do you guys want to do? Because I feel like, especially if we maybe had some, like, vague mental feeling of, like, oh, we should go find Goose. I think we probably have a desire to go back, but know that it's not safe.
Yeah, I mean, I would say from my perspective, you as players know things are not going well. You as characters can be like, I really thought he would catch up to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like...
Right. So, I mean, at least if nobody else has anything they want to add to that, Nico would probably go to some of the other characters that we saw there. Maybe the rogue and the human, I don't know, maybe they both look like rogues if he's got spiderweb tattoos, but approach them and say, like, hey, I've got a job for you guys. It pays well, but I can't pay you until it's finished.
Yeah, and the one guy just sort of like looks up from his book and kind of side-eyes you for a moment, right? And the other guy leans in. He says, interesting. Like, as you're talking.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a decrepit old Gith witch hanging out in my bar. I need her gone. Behind her's the money. And maybe something else.
Oh, that's not suspicious.
Right. Yeah, he narrows his eyes as he's like, I think I know of whom you speak. You're messing with the consortium, aren't you?
If that's who's blocking my bar, then yes.
Says, oh, you don't know. It's just happenstance that, and he just sort of points. He's like, they in charge want something from you in your bar. Just total accident. Couldn't possibly be your fault.
Nico thinks for a moment. He's like, well, it could be, but I don't know exactly what they'd have me in for.
Yeah, and he laughs like way harder than you think is reasonable, right? He's like, well, you and I have that in common. Please, I'm not buying drinks quite yet, but you can sit with us.
So, you've seen my fine feathered friend here, just walked out with that dwarf. Behind me, what is Kaylin an elf? Half elf?
Half elf.
Okay. The bird and my half elf friend here. And is Puvu with us too?
Technically.
Okay. And
Child's mine.
The young one, yeah, he can pull a little bit more weight than he looks like. We're all a little ill-equipped to take down this beast on our own. But we've got reason to get into the bar and mayhaps take stride with the consortium here.
Because, I think there is some money to be made. I see that pretty clearly. Money, how much? I hate to be so straightforward.
Let's just say I was saving for a very, very expensive remedy.
It's an awful lot of promises so far.
If the money's not there, then we're in your debt, and we'll work for you.
Yeah. So he looks across the bar. Kind of narrows his eyes. The guy closes the book and he says, "That we could use. Could keep your money, but our work will take us from the city. Our work will take us deep into Ravenloft."
Now, kind of out of character here.
Yeah.
Back where we were, if Nico they are able to get in, they find his wife and all of that, going back into Ravenloft to be in line with going back to He Who Walks Behind Cornstalks too, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, Nico would agree to that. He'd say, after we're done here, we've got need to go back to Ravenloft as well. So as long as you don't mind a stop or two along the way.
Yeah. He says, and he leans in, and you can see that this is pale because no sunlight, right? It's a very indoor, very academic fellow. The tattoos are also, there's more of them. These ones that are just here, kind of going out across the forehead are much more pronounced and much older. But when you get closer to him and you're kind of taking them all in, he's got them, I say this and nobody ever gets what I mean, behind the fingernail, but not underneath it, right? Down the fingers. Right. Yeah. It just always throws people off when I say behind the fingernail, because they're under the fingernail? I'm like, nope, that's literally not what I said. And he nods once. He has a flask as well, which he drinks from, and he says, "I am Kal Sam," and he points across. Says, "That's rummy red," and you can hear the sarcasm dripping off of this. He says, we've taken jobs here in the city for some time and made a small bit of coin, but more trouble than it's worth. This place has more problems and more specific ones than we can solve, but just putting down a beast, this is easy."
And Nick would say, "Well, that is great news. Now, alternatively, we could forgo the beast and just access the basement, but it would probably need a distraction."
You know this place better than we do.
Yeah. Get their feeling as to whether they're confident in being able to actually kill this creature or not.
Yeah, Carl Sam has not done a lot of research yet, so he would want to do that. Rummy Red failed his check to know who we were talking about, so he thinks he has not pieced it together because the name Parak has already been tossed around. You heard that last game, and that's the Shadow Sorcerer that you were fighting. And he knows of them, but has not internalized it yet.
Gotcha.
So what he does, he's going to be like, oh shit, that's a real fight. But right now he's just like, oh yeah, those fucking kill things. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I feel we don't have a lot of time. We had another companion with us, but we're also not doing so hot on the worst for wear, so we could probably use a little bit of time before we head out.
Yeah, they nod. Do you have lodging?
Not currently.
No.
We had the bar, but
You don't have the bar, yes.
Karak problems.
We're a few streets down. There's more here than you would think. Quite simply, a lot of people have died, and squatters, yes. You have to pay a little, but no one really owns anything anymore, so no one really cares. You could probably stay there, though. This is me not paying for you or anything.
Sure. Yeah, so we've hired some muscle.
Yeah.
Can we hire more muscle? Maybe if my romance scheme goes, we'll get the two of them.
That's what I'm hoping for. We could use more healing.
Squid, can you roll an insight?
Squid?
Yeah, she's rolling.
Okay.
Yeah. Rummy Red strikes you as the kind of nonsensical idiot that you've dealt with 1,000 times in your life, so I don't know that you care too much about that one. Cal Sim, I think, kind of sets the metaphorical hair on the back of your neck, right, off. He, the way that he was talking and the very, cavalier attitude of, people have died, and that, right, it's very sort of brazen about that, and I think that it's not a thing that Nico doesn't notice, but it's a thing that Nico, you have a goal in that conversation. You know what I mean? You're talking to them and looking for them to kind of looking for that in and everything. And I don't want to tell Dan how he plays his character, but I think that he would be forgiven for trying to get along with them really quickly to make them friends. And I think what's interesting is that Squid, as Kaylin right now is grappling with that lack of morality, and seeing it and its absence in somebody else is actually very enlightening very quickly. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm curious, because Dan kind of gave you that moment, right? They're finishing the drinks. You're certainly welcome to linger there, but you could also go talk to Puvu, or go check out what's going on with Drib, and you could talk to Nico about that.
Sorry, I must have missed that. Were you waiting for something from me?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just thinking.
Okay.
She'll probably have a very musing look on her face when Miko comes back, as she's still kind of staring at what was his name?
Kyle Sim. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, she's kind of still watching him over the rim of her mug.
Mm-hmm. Are you saying anything to Nico, or are you just continuing to watch for now?
She's just watching for now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure where we want to go next. Then we can cut to the next scene.
Yeah.
Does the romantic comedy work?
Well, I think we're gonna. I don't know. I'm not sure what I want to do with that yet.
Okay. We can resolve that later. My other main goal is get us a long rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like we need a rest, but there's also kind of the urgency of Goose was.
Yeah,
we know that Goose hasn't gotten here yet, so we're a little worried about that. So maybe I don't know if we need a long rest or if a short rest will do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess Goose, I don't think that it's just gonna like stab you while you're down and kill you, right? And despite appearances, it is not actually a vampire. It's undead and it's awful, but so I think that you just need to make the rest of your death slashes. Let's figure out first if you stabilize or if you pass on.
I mean, we have one success.
Yeah. One fail.
1 and 1. Okay, 2 and 1. This is a tense 30 seconds as it's just staring at you. 2 and 2.
And you do have inspiration. You have inspiration.
I do, but can't you just use that after the roll?
That I don't know with death saves.
I think technically you can.
You just can't know the outcome.
Yeah, so I think that there's like a very weird.
So with a death save,
yeah,
you always know.
Yeah, I think if you want to use it, I think you need to use it ahead of time. It's just like slightly annoying, but you know.
Yeah, because otherwise you'll know the result.
Yeah, I think it's a weird scenario.
That's ball hockey.
Well, you know, you kind of want to live, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but still, ball.
Please use the inspiration.
I mean, you can die. I don't care.
I don't want Goose to die.
Whatever. You're only allowed 1 inspiration point in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have it or you don't.
You can't collect like multiples. If I had 2 inspiration points.
Nope.
No.
Man.
Just save Goose, Riley, please. What'll the party do without Goose?
No, that was an accident. I'm trying to roll 2.
I thought you rolled a 2. I was just like, hey.
No. Rolling a 2 on a d20. No. Roll. Is this /R2 d20?
It should just be /R and then 2 d20s all one with no spaces, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Yes. I was in the wrong chat.
17.
Hey.
Okay. So he stabilizes.
It's a good thing you used your inspiration there with that 4.
Which is like even weirder because like, what the fuck is this thing gonna do with you? Like,
this will look good on my mantle.
Yeah, like.
Is it gonna do anything with him?
I mean, it drags him inside, especially when he keeps living, and it just stares at him, and then it reads the shit out of your mind. It learns everything about you.
Okay.
At least you're alive, Goose.
Yeah. So it is a vampire for love, and that's why it's here, because there's this weird attachment thing going on with Nico. I'm not gonna call it love because he's very possessive, and I don't like that. But you know, it's love adjacent, so it's kind of working.
It's rooted in love. We'll say that.
It's rooted. It's definitely rooted in love. It's also a little misguided at this point.
Do we know if the sorceress lady is still there? Like, are they connected, or is it 2 separate things?
I don't understand your question.
So there was like a weird sorceress lady in there, sitting in a chair, being all creepy, and she had a weird staff.
That's her.
And there was also okay, so it is all one thing.
That's correct.
Like the weird wall of shadows. Okay.
Yeah, the weird wall of shadows was behind her. She can read thoughts and communicate emotion psychically.
Oh boy.
And I don't think she actually spoke. I think that she responded emotionally.
Did a lot of nodding.
Yeah, and nodded. Yeah. Like it is undead. It can communicate in a lot of different ways. It is very powerfully, both magically and psychically. And yeah, it is feeding on the weird love that exists in the room.
Quick aside question, because this will potentially have an outcome. When I threw my spear and I rolled a 1 on that void, that like shadow wall, did it end up returning to me or not?
Yeah, I don't fuck around with that horse shit.
Okay,
yeah,
but I don't know what you mean. Like it didn't come back?
No, it did.
Oh, okay.
I don't. If you had a 5% chance of like shooting yourself in the foot, falling down a flight of stairs, and dying every time you got up, like we'd all be walking around in bubbles.
Gotcha. Because I know you at that point you had said something about the wall, like kind of grabbed back, trying to keep it or like hold on to it.
Yeah, I think I was just giving flavor.
Okay. No, I just wanted to clarify that because during a rest I would probably want to imbue a new item otherwise.
Yep. No, totally fine. Yeah. So I think Goose. I know this really stinks, but we're kind of rounding into more or less the end of tonight anyway. Like you wake up and you are somewhere underground that you don't really recognize. And the weird shadow thing is in the room with you, between you and the door. And you've had like a lot of weird dreams and fuzzy memories, and I gotta actually read this spell, because it did some things to you while you were kind of there for a while. Go ahead and roll a d4 plus 1.
Nice.
Okay. So it's 4 hours before you're conscious with 1 HP. Well, the group took a short rest, just kind of hanging out, drinking at the bar, meeting people. How long did you wait before you were like, we gotta go fucking check on Goose?
I mean,
the rest of the night, the next morning, never.
Like if we're only doing a short rest, I thought like then we probably would have headed out pretty quickly, I'd guess. Otherwise, why not just do the long rest?
Yeah, all I have to gain is HP, so like I can just roll my hit dice for that.
Yeah, I have one use of wild shape still, but most of my spell slots.
So like I think there's kind of maybe some more urgency there. Kaylin, did you have anything happen to you?
No, I think she's pretty good right now.
Okay, so yeah, I think we would have just taken a short rest, and as long as our helpers are good to go, our hirelings, if you will, then we'd try to head out.
Oh, you want to head right there now?
I don't know, what do you guys think?
If that's like if the way I was looking at it is either head there right now, or why not do a long rest just to be fully prepared.
Yeah.
Like, especially if would the hirelings be ready? One of them specifically talked about wanting to research, and
that's true.
Kelson is, he would do a like reconnaissance mission, but he's like, I'm not planning on engaging. So if you accept that,
yeah, like
okay.
Are we just doing recon, or are we doing more rest?
I guess long rest if he doesn't need us with him for recon. We kind of give him the summary of like what we saw before we go, and like maybe some things to avoid.
Yeah, he would accompany you to go see it, but he's not going to fight it. If you're not going, he is just going to continue researching.
Okay.
Are we gonna go and just view it then, and kind of see if
casual viewing party?
Run into that lady.
Who knows what we'll run into?
I mean, that's I guess mostly up to you, Tristan, if your character needs a long rest, because I don't think that I do right now. Anyway,
like The way
So,
I could probably be fine with that one. It would be nice to change some spells, but like my main thing is I want everyone who's going to be fighting this thing willing to fight this thing.
yeah.
Like all hands on deck. If this one person just like I'm just going to do reconnaissance, like that's one less person in the fight that against a thing that can do a lot of damage to us. Like, along with who knows if we might be able to find anyone else in this bar, even if they're just like random warrior who's not as interesting. And
Yeah, I mean, Thuz might come along.
like
Thuz might come along.
I mean,
he might.
Literally anyone and everyone I'd say we can get on board is going to be good for this fight. Like we are this is the siege on Nico's place with how strong this thing is or appears to be. And I'd much rather be prepared for that.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
if we want to do just a quick recon now and come back later for the full fight.
Yeah, I think we'd want to do recon and kind of see along the way if we see any evidence of Goose and whether he would have survived, if he's around. Yeah.
Okay.
But keep an eye out for that on the way and then come back and recruit some more help, maybe.
All right. As long as we're real clear, this is a recon mission, and we are not going to charge back into the fray and get dunked on.
Get Duncan on. Who's also
we do have Duncan. Oh yeah, and if Goose is missing, drama.
Yeah. Goose, go ahead and roll a charisma saving throw, but you're going to roll it at disadvantage.
All right.
What would Duncan have been doing? I feel like he
probably like that. I would have probably suggested he like find some small animals and things to feed on so he feels a little better. 10's not the worst.
Yeah, so this thing used Modify Memory on you while you were unconscious. And Modify Memory is not just carte blanche to change any old thing it wants, right? But I present to you two options, and I'm interested in you telling me, and you can change them a little, right? Like to make them fit with Goose's thought process. Somehow... Oh, we're bringing back second edition. Sorry, guys. It's been a great run.
Gosh dang, who did that?
No, I quit.
Nope.
It's been... How do I do this?
Dave Dame, why would you do that?
That was not Dave Dame.
It was me.
No, I'm talking about the thing about sponges and starfish.
Yeah.
Oh.
It wants you on its side. It's like to me the thing is like they left you here, they don't care about you, right? Like they plant that seed of doubt in the way that like your parents don't believe in you, right? I could see an iteration where it's like just don't look at me and see a scary dead Gith creature, just see whatever, right? An old friend, a family member, right? Like just, you know what I mean? Like that's a pretty big memory edit, but that's it, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, just look on me with kind eyes, you know what I mean? Or I think it like stokes, you know, like it's very similar to the first thing where it's, you know, like they're coming to hurt us, to take you away from me, right? Whatever. Like, what do any of those seem like they'd be reasonable to Goose?
I mean, empathy is one of his strong suits.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely looking at this creature with kind eyes would certainly be a thing.
Okay.
So it modify his memory in the way where he wouldn't necessarily remember this creature kind of attacking or damaging, and kind of seeing this party fight a helpless creature?
Yeah, I think that if its edit is look on me with kind eyes, you remember a big scary thing somewhere nearby. You remember standing in front of someone to keep them safe, and you look at this and you see a fellow gnome, right? Like, we see it, right? But you just see a gnome. And you're like, oh god, they got you too, right? It's suspended disbelief. At some point, you're gonna get another save when the party, like, throws fire into this thing's face, and it screeches horribly, and you're like, that's not a gnome screech, you know what I mean? But right now, it took a 5th level spell, and it just said, I'm a gnome. And you were like, yeah, and there's a scary thing around here too, and it's like, yes, scary thing, right?
But I'm a gnome.
Right, it's just letting you make all the assumptions.
Alright.
Yeah, because it poured through your mind, which is a whole other thing we get to talk about later. But it was like, what will work? What will make him think I'm good? And I would also say, like, you know, this is a scene where we would see very, you know, it would flip back and forth consistently because it's creepy as hell, and it's like, you know, hunched over in this tiny little room that keeps getting closer and closer to you because you're not attacking it or telling it to go away, and it's like it's thinking to you, but you're just interpreting it like the gnome's talking to you, and it's like, we're friends, and you're like, I love gnomes, and it's like, I love you.
Have you ever seen the movie Mama?
No.
Oh, that's the feels that I'm freaking getting, where the two girls, like, live in the woods, and there's that terrifying ghost woman that acts as their mother.
Mm-hmm. It's called Mama?
Yeah. The Del Toro movie.
Oh, it sounds like it.
I mean, I'm definitely going that direction, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's like these people adopt the girls or whatever, the ghost comes with them.
Hmm.
I thought you said Mala at first.
No.
I think I have seen that movie.
Mama.
Yeah.
I saw the trailers for it, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Nice.
No, not a horror movie guy. Can't do it. Too spooky.
I like anything that's creepy.
You're in the realm of spook.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like, spooky is different from, oh shoot, look at that monster that just jumped out at me, I'm gonna cry now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and if there's anything you want to say in particular, you can, right? Like, we could take advantage of the scene where it's like, I'm from your village, and you're like, I know. And it's like, we've been friends forever. You're like, we're good friends, right? Like, it's just, all it wants to do is keep hearing that you guys are good friends and keep getting that, like, positive reinforcement.
Good friends. Do they also follow Paylor?
Oh, anything you want, yeah.
Yeah.
I love Paylor.
Oh, Paylor is the best.
I love Paylor.
Oh, that's so good to hear.
And it keeps
Pray
just
together
like
so much.
right. It's just like it's touching your forehead. Just
You're such good friends.
like, how upsetting can I make this scene?
It's like, oh man, you gotta meet Duncan. Duncan's a great guy.
I'd like to meet anyone who likes me.
Yeah, I feel like you two would get along great.
Right. And then you picture Duncan, and then you think for a second it's a vampire, and it's like.
No, it's not a vampire. It's a friend. It's a Paylor loving gnome. This is fine.
Oh man, like, completely out of context, right? It's like, because no one in the real world would believe that Duncan is a gnome. So it's like, it's a vampire gnoll that thinks it's a gnome. It's a love lich give Yankee that is convinced Goose that it's a gnome. Like, Goose is just
everyone's convincing Goose that it's a gnome.
It's just, oh man,
It's gnomes all the way down.
Everyone's a gnome.
right? He's just got like 3 animated zombie skeleton gnomes just dancing behind him. Like, oh god.
Yeah, no, it's all gnomes all the way down.
Oops, all gnomes.
Yep.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. So we do our creepy little scene, and everybody's like, "Oh God, Goose is not in a good way."
But he's alive.
Yeah. We cut back to the other scene as you guys are kind of traversing through the city. So it's the group: Puvu, Drib, Kalen, Nico, and Kalsim. Rummy Red is securing lodging.
We head towards the bar.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Scout it out.
Go ahead, and as a group, you can give me a stealth with advantage and a perception with advantage.
I'm not gonna roll the stealth. I have a +4 perception.
Damn.
Okay. Does anyone have more than a +4 for perception?
No, I have a +3.
No, I have a 0.
All right, I will roll my 2 perception. Whoa!
Wow.
All right, double crits.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes.
You know, and, like maybe the timing here kind of works, right? Because this thing has probably just, you know, within the last hour or so, dragged Goose down into the basement and begun modifying his memories as you guys are kind of heading out that way. Getting to the bar and not seeing any evidence of much beyond, I mean, not even a ton of blood. It was 2 quick stabs and then he stabilized. It's like a little bit of blood on the ground, and then maybe the sign of like a real light scuffle. You know, footprints up to the pathway in, right? And then just blood and somebody like ran away. You know what I mean? Fast footprints across more mud or something.
Do we see drag marks or no?
It wouldn't have to. It could pick them up.
Okay.
Maybe just like 1 or 2 like drip into the house, which is certainly a thing.
A person was stabbed and a person seems to have been moved, not dragged.
Yeah.
I mean, it's information. It's not good information for us.
Do we still see this wall of shadow, or?
No, it would have moved too. Yeah, so you can kind of just peek into the house through the door if you want and see, you know, like, it's your bar and it's right there.
Yeah.
Oof.
And at this point, you have not taken a long rest, but you did it the short. So some people have spent hit dice.
Yeah, I would have to roll my hit dice too. What are they? Do you get a bonus when you roll your hit dice, or is it just flat?
I think you had your con every time.
Okay. So.
Yeah, I think the party's at a difficult crossroads, because like Kalsim said he did not want to go in and fight this thing right now, but you're also like, is it here?
Yeah, well, so
do we want to risk going in? Like, it's not here, but who knows how far it could be. Like,
right. Like, it seemed like it was pretty camped up here, so I don't think Nico knows that this creature was looking for him to a degree. And it had been camping here forever, so I don't think he's convinced that the creature's gone. So at least he would be very cautious, and like, I don't think he's necessarily looking to go in, but is very curious what could have happened.
Yeah.
He knows there's an upstairs and a downstairs, so could be in either one of those.
Yeah, I mean, so that is presented to the... And we won't get to that tonight, right? Like, I think we would cliffhanger on either a choice of going in or, you know, like, okay, we don't see him, but we don't trust it, so we go back now.
Yeah, I think would ask Kalsim, like, you know, what information are you looking for here? Like, you have what you need? I don't think, you know... I'm not convinced that the creature's gone. It's got to be around here somewhere.
Yeah, and I think he nods and, pulls at his chin pensively for a moment. He says, well, I'd hoped to see the creature. You described a wall of shadow. I see, blood from what must be a precise strike. You spoke of a staff. Seems to be a spellcaster of some kind with some shadow stuff, just not unknown. And he's like, you notice he's back a little further, right, than even your group is. It's like, could be inside any of these shadows, truthfully. Did you see a dog? Was there a dog associated with it?
Well,
there was a dog, but it wasn't associated with it.
I don't think we saw a dog. No. Oh. Did we? I mean, aside from Drib.
You did see. That's why Drib's commenting.
Yeah.
Like, there was a dog, not associated.
Yeah.
It says, well, that's good then. It's a particular manifestation of shadow sorcerers. The Hound of Ill-Omen.
Oh, how ironic would that be?
I'm not just misremembering this, but I don't remember the dog.
It's like, if you wish to press onward, if the first floor is safe, perhaps we could take a peek, but I promise you I am not getting any empty scraps without the best information.
Well, if it's here, it's got to be upstairs or downstairs. And I don't know if we want to risk an engagement right now.
Then perhaps it's best to wait. You said it did not wish to leave.
Yeah.
We may see it then.
True.
Yeah, we could wait in any of these ruins nearby.
Yeah, and he agrees. Like at a distance, put some space between us and it, and with any luck.
Scout for a while. That sounds half reasonable. There's plenty of ruins.
Okay, cool. It's not the most dramatic cliffhanger that we've ever done by any means, but I think that we can see the group kind of settling in, somewhere a house or two down in a way, kind of watching, really mimicking what, Goose had done at the beginning or at the end of last game, right? And kind of breaking off to wait and to watch and to see what happened.
Yeah.
Great. Goose and his best friend.
We are gonna save Goose.
Yeah, click on that.
Be okay.
Have fun.
Oh, that seems fine.
Oh,
I don't like the way it ran. I didn't like that part as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not fine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the running is less than desirable. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good.
Nope.
Okay.
That was gonna jump out the screen at me. That's why I don't do horror. Too close.
All right. Well, thank you guys for playing. We're about to crest into 2 hours, which is always our goal whenever possible. We got started pretty snappy today, which was good. So thank you very much. The only goal is, play and see what happens. Make sure everyone's time is not wasted. So we've set ourselves up for another combat next session. Hopefully that's okay. I know it's tough because doing a combat can run really long. I used to try and balance it every other or every third because D&D has a lot of rules for combats. It's a good thing to do with time, but when we only get about 2 hours to play, it's tough when we can't finish one.
Well, we can still do some good stuff.
Yeah. All right. Any last thoughts or remarks, requests, scenes, or anything anybody needs or wants to say?
So will you think on the rom-com?
Yes. Yeah. I think that we need some kind of solution there, or some sort of update.
But doesn't have to be now.
Yeah,
that can be part of the cliffhanger.
Yeah. Right, we, as we're doing our the episode closes, fade to black, run the credits, right, and then the after credits scene, right, is we just see Human Cray, which is a big red slap right across his face, or maybe we actually see it happen. She's right, but we don't know why. Is it good? Is it bad? Is he in trouble?
Yeah, It could be good.
It could be.
Maybe that's how she shows affection.
Love slap, baby, love slap.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Anything else? Love slap. Yeah. Hashtag love slap.
Speaking of which, do we have any social media we want to promote aside from remembering to like, comment, subscribe? There's no bell icon. This is Twitch. I believe we have a Twitter.
Oh, we have
Is that
Twitter.
a thing?
Yeah, we are EDice Podcast on Twitter, Twitch, and I believe Facebook as well.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Twitter, Instagram. Twitch is them, Dave.
Yeah.
I've actually got one.
Yeah.
The game that I speedrun/race, Zelda Link to the Past Randomizer, I joined a league for it. That starts next week, so our team has 2 races next week. I'm in one of them. So come check out the first race of the league for our team. It's Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll put my stream in here. It might end up being restreamed. I don't know yet. So you might get to see...
Nice.
I know they're trying to restream as many races as possible from the league, but it went from 32 to 64 teams, with each team having 2 races per week. So
sure, yeah, it got very big. It scaled quick.
Yeah. So come check that out.
Yeah, are you streaming tonight?
Probably not, because I think now if I were to stream, it would take me until like midnight, a little bit later.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'll have to post you on Monday. Make sure everybody gets a chance.
And don't forget to tag us on Twitter with probably hashtag Electric Dice Podcast, hashtag Love Slap.
Hashtag Love Slap.
Hashtag Love Slap.
If you need, we'll get Love Slap stickers made just to dwarf space.
I mean, should we check and see what's in that hashtag already first?
Yeah, I was just about to say, you might want to see what's already tagged in that.
We're more relevant. It's fine. There are literally dozens of us.
I sure hope so.
All right. Well, cool. Thanks everybody for playing.
I think we have a Facebook too, but
yes, we do. We do. We have all the social
check
media.
us out.
We're on iTunes, EDice Podcast.
Oh, shoot.
They're episodes from 5 years ago. They're terrible.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Do we have a Spotify?
No, I have a SoundCloud.
Oh, we do have a SoundCloud.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah. Gotta plug that SoundCloud.
Yeah. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, invite them to join in. The more people we get, the more fun stuff we can do, like ridiculous hashtags.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Getting out of here.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Hashtag Love Slap. I'm gonna plug that till the end.